Earlier this year, longtime viewers of the morning show began to sense something was off when both Kelly Ripa and her husband and co-anchor, Mark Consuelos, were missing from the broadcast for extended periods. Kelly's planned breaks were expected and openly discussed, but Mark's sudden disappearance raised eyebrows and sparked quiet concern among fans. Ratings reflected that curiosity, dipping slightly as audiences wondered what had happened behind the scenes. Morning shows thrive on familiarity, and when that rhythm changes, viewers feel it immediately. While speculation floated online, the show carried on, reminding everyone just how central the host's presence and chemistry are to its success. The absence wasn't dramatic or scandalous, but it was noticeable, proving that even small disruptions can ripple through a daily routine shared by millions of viewers who rely on these familiar faces to start their day. Guest hosts stepping in. During the stretch when Kelly and Mark were away, a rotation of guest hosts stepped in to keep the show moving forward. Each brought their own energy, humour and perspective, and while they performed admirably, the difference was unmistakable. Kelly, when present, anchored the transitions with her trademark ease, helping maintain continuity and warmth. Still, viewers could feel that something essential was missing. Guest hosts can entertain, but they can't replicate years of shared history or the easy banter that comes from a real-life partnership. This period quietly highlighted how important consistency is in daytime television. It also reflected a broader industry shift, where temporary absences for health or personal reasons have become more openly acknowledged, reminding audiences that behind polished broadcasts are real people balancing demanding careers with their own well-being. Mark's honest return. When Mark returned on a Monday episode, he didn't sidestep the curiosity surrounding his absence. Instead, he addressed it directly, choosing honesty over mystery. With a calm and relatable tone, he explained that health matters had taken priority, immediately reframing the conversation from speculation to understanding. His openness set the tone for the segment, turning what could have been awkward into something meaningful. Rather than dramatizing the situation, Mark spoke like someone talking to friends, not an audience of millions. That approach resonated deeply, reminding viewers that health concerns don't discriminate and can interrupt even the busiest schedules. By addressing the issue head-on, Mark not only satisfied viewers' curiosity, but also modelled transparency, showing that acknowledging personal health isn't a weakness. It's a responsible and relatable choice. Introducing the idea of FOFU, Kelly seamlessly guided the conversation toward a trending concept circulating online, FOFU, or the fear of finding out. With her natural storytelling style, she explained it in plain language, connecting it to everyday health anxieties many people quietly carry. The idea struck a chord because it's deeply human, avoiding answers out of fear rather than indifference. Kelly balanced humour with sincerity, acknowledging that medical uncertainty can feel overwhelming, especially when it involves uncomfortable procedures. She gently reminded viewers that delaying care often makes problems harder to manage later. The segment didn't feel preachy or clinical. Instead, it felt like advice from a trusted friend. By introducing FOFU in a conversational way, Kelly created a safe space for viewers to reflect on their own habits without shame or pressure. Mark's candid confession. Mark then shared a personal admission that immediately grounded the discussion. He had only recently undergone his first colonoscopy at age 54, well past the recommended time frame. He spoke openly about the anxiety that kept him postponing it, emphasizing that fear, not neglect, was the real reason. His honesty was refreshing and disarming, especially coming from someone who appears confident and composed on television. Mark acknowledged that even with access to good healthcare, emotional barriers can be surprisingly powerful. By naming that fear out loud, he normalized it for countless viewers who may feel the same way. His confession wasn't dramatic or self-critical. It was thoughtful and sincere, offering reassurance that apprehension is common and understandable, but also something that can be overcome with the right mindset and support. The reality of the procedure. With a mix of humor and realism, Mark described the experience itself, from the nervous anticipation beforehand to the oddly calming effects of sedation. He didn't exaggerate or gloss over the discomfort, but he made it clear that the reality was far less intimidating than the fear leading up to it. Joking about how well rested he felt afterward, Mark helped shift the narrative away from dread and toward relief. His light-hearted delivery made the topic approachable, especially for viewers who might otherwise avoid hearing about medical procedures altogether. By sharing small human details, his thoughts, his nerves, and his surprise at how manageable it all was, Mark transformed an intimidating subject into something relatable and even reassuring, helping demystify a process many people fear unnecessarily. A nurse, a thought, and a laugh. One of the most memorable moments came when Mark recounted an interaction with a particularly kind nurse during his recovery. In a foggy post-procedure moment, he admitted to briefly thinking she would be perfect for his son Joaquin, though he quickly clarified that he kept those thoughts to himself. Kelly immediately jumped in, reenacting the scenario with playful exaggeration that sent the audience into laughter. The exchange showcased their effortless chemistry and ability to find humor in ordinary, slightly awkward moments. It was light, self-aware, and deeply human. Rather than undermining the seriousness of the health message, the humor made it more accessible. Viewers weren't just learning, they were laughing along, recognizing themselves in those unfiltered, fleeting thoughts we all have but rarely admit out loud. Parenting and life transitions. The story naturally blended into a reflection on parenting as Kelly and Mark talked about their 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, and the shifting dynamics of family life. With Joaquin recently graduated and back in New York City, the couple touched on the strange mix of pride, nostalgia, and adjustment that comes with raising young adults. Their conversation felt genuine and unscripted, offering a glimpse into life beyond the studio lights. It reminded viewers that even celebrities navigate the same transitions as everyone else, children growing up, roles changing, and relationships evolving. This grounding perspective added emotional depth to the segment, reinforcing that health, family, and humor are deeply intertwined. It wasn't just a funny story, it was a reflection on life's ongoing changes and the importance of staying present through them. Humor as a health bridge. What made the segment truly effective was its ability to use humor as a bridge to an important health conversation. Mark's willingness to laugh at his own fear and Kelly's playful commentary softened a topic that many people avoid entirely. Instead of sounding like a public service announcement, the discussion felt organic and inviting. Viewers weren't being told what to do. They were being shown that it's okay to feel nervous and still take action. Humor lowered defenses, allowing practical information to land without resistance. The segment demonstrated that laughter doesn't diminish seriousness. It enhances understanding. By blending warmth, wit, and honesty, Kelly and Mark created a moment that encouraged viewers to think differently about preventive care, showing that facing health concerns can be empowering rather than frightening. The importance of early screening. Amid the jokes and storytelling, Mark made sure the core message remained clear. Preventive screenings matter. He walked viewers through the preparation, procedure, and recovery in a way that stripped away unnecessary fear. By emphasizing how routine and safe the process is, He reframed the narrative from avoidance to responsibility. Mark pointed out that many health issues are far easier to treat when caught early, a reminder delivered with empathy rather than alarm. His story illustrated how fear often exaggerates discomfort, while reality is usually far more manageable. This balance of personal experience and practical insight gave the segment weight and purpose. It wasn't about sharing a funny anecdote. It was about encouraging viewers, especially men, to take proactive steps toward their own well-being. Why the moment resonated. Ultimately, the segment resonated because it felt real. Kelly and Mark didn't perform, they connected. Their chemistry, vulnerability, and humor reminded viewers why their presence is central to the show's identity. By addressing speculation honestly and turning it into a meaningful conversation, they reinforced trust with their audience. The discussion about FOFU, health fears, and family life reflected shared human experiences rather than celebrity distance. Viewers weren't just watching a talk show, they were participating in a conversation that acknowledged anxiety, laughter, and responsibility all at once. The moment stood out not for drama, but for authenticity. In blending humanity with information, Kelly and Mark demonstrated how television can inform, entertain, and comfort all at the same time, one honest story at a time.